The world of reptiles can be a rather scary one, but some of the creepy crawlies actually go on to become TV stars. Here's friendly old Charlie, for example. There he is, and he's now a TV star. And not only have we got Charlie with us today, we've got his dad also. Please welcome Fritz Maarten. Hello, Bert. Hi, Fritz. Good to see you again. Now, I'm going to leave it all to you because I'm intrigued with what I see in front of me.
All right, well, I've brought in a collection of lizards, actually. As well as Charlie, I've brought in some of Australia's very unusual lizards. Believe it or not, that's a legless lizard, Bert. And even though he looks like a snake, he's got all the features that other lizards have. He has little ear holes, which snakes don't have, a little flat tongue, which just poked out then, and a long tail that can drop off. And snakes don't have those things. Snakes don't drop their tails, and snakes, of course, have a forked tongue, and they don't have any ears. Snakes hear through their bellies. Yeah, you can hold on to him. Just watch out he doesn't drop his tail on you.
What will his tail do to me?
Oh, nothing. It'll just wriggle away, and if there was a kookaburra around, it'd get eaten.
Yeah. No kookaburras today, I don't think.
There's about 20 types of legless lizard. That's another one there. That one's a Burton's that you've got, a Burton's legless lizard of all things. This is a Delma legless lizard, and this one's from New South Wales. The one you've got's from the Northern Territory. And this one has a very long tail. His tail begins there, so you can imagine if his tail dropped off, there would only be that little bit of lizard at the front there. Just his little body there, big long tail.
Put him back in?
Yeah, pop him in.
Just throw him in?
Yeah, I'll just lower him in. Yeah, I've got to be careful he doesn't eat those geckos, so it's all right. He did well. There's also...
Oh, Joe Cool here.
There's 5 families of lizards. There's about 300 lizards in all in Australia. Yeah, and that's a beautiful little thick-tailed gecko from the Nullarbor Plain. And he stores his food in his tail, but he can drop his tail if he's attacked as well. He still has his original tail.
And how big does he grow, Fritz?
He's full grown. We've had this one for about 5 years, yep. He's right in the middle of the Nullarbor. And he's got very big eyes so that he can see at night. Geckos are nocturnal.
And who are his enemies?
Oh, mainly owls, snakes that move around at night, probably other little marsupial mice sometimes eat them.
Who's that bloke?
That's a little spiny-tailed gecko from Darwin, and he's got suction pads on his toes, so he can easily walk up walls or people's shirts.
Be careful, he may nest in your beard.
Yeah, he might too. There wouldn't be any moths in there, though. Look,
he's
holding it upside down. See that?
What do you call him?
That's a gecko. It's a spiny-tailed gecko. So there's a couple of geckos.
The big blokes.
These are skinks. These are the ones that kids often keep as pets here in Victoria and throughout Australia. That's the normal blue-tongued skink. But what a lot of people don't realise is that there are several types of blue-tongue. That's an eastern blue-tongue from Victoria. That's a southern blue-tongue from southern Victoria and Tasmania. He's got a different pattern.
Oh, one for you?
Yep, they're both snail-eating lizards. And then I've got one here which is from Central Australia called the Central Blue Tongue, and you can see they've all got different tongues, different head shapes, different features to suit their own environment. This one camouflage as well, of course, in Central Australia. And
any discharge with that tongue?
Would he what?
Any discharge?
No, the tongue's on this one's for picking up ants. On the others, it's more or less a sensing organ, just for tasting the air to see if there's any food around. So the tongue doesn't have a great purpose, except it helps them to sense for their food. But
what else?
They're skinks. I've also brought along a couple of dragon lizards, because dragons are the most spectacular of the Australian lizards. And the one I've got here is the most common of the dragons. He's often mistaken for a frillneck bird, but he is in fact a bearded dragon from the Australian outback. If anyone here has travelled through the outback, they might have seen one of these little fellows. And under his chin he looks like he's got a beard.
He looks like a frillneck, doesn't he?
He does, but I'll show you a real frillneck in a minute and you'll see the difference. But this one flattens his belly too. He's pretty skinny. But
where do we find him, did you say?
In the outback, yep. When he gets angry he'll flatten out, poke out his beard and try and bite as well. And he has very sharp teeth.
And what does he like for dinner? Well,
he's an insect-eating lizard. Dragons are the hardest to keep because they have to be fed live insects in captivity. And we keep these at Monbulk Animal Kingdom, a wildlife park, and the skinks all eat fruit, and these are on little moths. He's going for a walk. Excuse me. Back you go.
Hey, around the corner.
And but the dragons need live food. Now, this particular dragon here, we spend... this is the frill-neck dragon. We spend hours and hours collecting... Look at that bearded dragon. He's pretty angry in there.
I've got to say, Fritz, there's a rather big bag over there, and I hate to ask you what's in that one.
Well, I'll come to it. Do you want to wait just a second longer?
Well, I've waited 10 minutes so far.
Yeah. Well, this is the beautiful frill-neck beard.
Oh, yes.
But it's worth seeing. It's the one on the 2-cent coin. There's only a few of them kept in Victoria, and this particular one is originally from Queensland.
And the Japanese have gone crazy over this, haven't they?
Yep, they love them because they run along on their back legs. They've got these very muscly back legs, and if they can't frighten their enemies off by putting their frill up, they simply run off across the bush on their back legs at about that angle. Like that.
I think everyone's seen that television grab, and over on Japanese television, would you believe, for I think about 3 months, they ran that at specific times of the day, and Japanese would tune in just to see that running along.
I know, and there are souvenirs and all sorts of things that have been made just to promote the film.
An unusual smell, haven't they?
I did wash them.
Oh, no, I don't mean necessarily...
They haven't got that much of an odour. No, it might be.
I wonder who it is, Fritz.
Yeah. Well, not me. Anyway, here's Charlie, Bert.
Ah, isn't he a beast of resistance?
He's the one in the Mitsubishi commercial, and he's actually appeared in over 20 films. He's been in The Flying Doctors 7
That's
times.
old Charlie, eh?
Yep. And he's been to thousands of schools. We visit the schools with the Snakes Alive show. He's been to over 1,000 schools. So kids all over Australia really know him quite well. I better not pop him in with those.
He'll eat them.
Yeah, if you've got very sharp teeth, they do eat other lizards. If you don't mind, I'll pop him there. And if you want to meet what I've brought over in the bag...
I tell you what, better still, why don't we all meet whatever is in that bag together?
All right.
I've got a lovely audience here today, and they've been very, very kind.
Yeah, a bit closer, will we?
Yeah, a little.
The lizards will be all right here for a minute.
Yeah. Over this way, Fritz, if you will. And especially these ladies here, because they've been so lovely all day. No, it's only a python, don't worry.
It's a very big python, Bert.
Is it really a python?
It's Boris the boa constrictor.
Oh, okay. Well, we're going to have a look at Boris the boa constrictor.
And he is
now, so we can get a good shot of you. I'll just get back here a little, Fritz.
Aren't you going to help me hold him, Bert?
Oh, well, I don't think I need to.
I need some help.
So expert.
He weighs about 20 kilos.
Come over and say hello to him. Come on, just say hello. He won't hurt you.
Come over, and I can put him on you for a little while.
Come on, what about you, sir? Come on. Up he comes.
Turn around and I'll put him over from behind. He's about 20 kilos. So there's a bit of weight.
What's his name again?
Boris.
Well done. Thank you, Fritz, for coming in today. We really hope to see you again soon. Always good fun with you and your friends. Back with you after this break.
Thanks, Bert.